Well, Alex, you've been in his position, retiring and then watching the game from a distance. Do you agree with Tom Brady?
I mean, a lot here, Sam. Listen, first off, let me just preface this. I love Tom, the GOAT, but...
Former NFL quarterback Alex Smith wasted no time responding to Tom Brady's recent comments about the state of the NFL. He tried to diminish Tom Brady's legacy in his entire career.
Alex Smith, man.
That's it, Alex Smith, man.
In the NFL world and sports in general, Tom Brady is one of the GOATs. So when he speaks, everyone listens and will have a reaction to whatever he said. Recently, Brady joined the Stephen A. Smith Show, where he was asked about the state of the NFL currently.
I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not?
And I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way, and every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves. It's not up to the defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. That's the reality. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game and I couldn't afford to lose a good player.
For the most part, people agreed with this sentiment about the league, as more and more it feels the game is turning just into like flag football. And other talking heads actually spoke about it as well. Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson spoke about it on their podcast.
I would not throw the ball over the middle when I played Ray Lewis because he knocked them out of the game and I couldn't afford to lose a player.
A good player, yeah.
That's what I've been saying. These guys throw the ball over the middle and then they get mad at the defensive player for knocking him out. No.
Hey, they reaching up with one hand, they pretty posing and looking good and looking cute. Yeah, okay. The NFL has handicapped the game of football. It has handicapped players that play on defense to a point to where they can't even tackle. Everything is a flag. Everything is a foul of some sort. They are fining players ridiculous amounts of money.
Yes.
For playing the game of football that we were taught from yay high on how to play. Tackling proper, doing all this stuff. Like, there's nothing you can do now. There's nothing you can do.
Even players like Micah Parsons expressed how much he agreed with Brady's point of the league becoming mediocre.
Tom Brady saying there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. Without a doubt, 100% agree. The league has went more into the offensive league, and I just don't think it's the same love and protection towards defensive players at that. There's players and there's teams that takes advantage of these rules. A quarterback can run at you full speed one play and give himself up, and then the next time act like he's sliding, or you may think he's about to slide and he could juke out and you go with the same energy and you hit him because you don't know if he's fake sliding or he is sliding, and you might get a penalty and you might get a letter in the mail because you late hit this quarterback. I just think it's outright ridiculous. Like, you either can hit the guy or you can't. You're playing football at full speed. You're not playing football at 50%. I 100% agree on what Tom Brady's saying.
But like any good opinion, you're going to have people who agree with you and you're going to have people who disagree. And trust me, there were some people that disagree. Former teammate of Tom Brady, Randy Moss, had this to say about Brady's comments.
I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this, and the reason why I'm kind of a little bothered by what I heard from Tom, and the reason why, because the quarterback position was the first position we as football fans start looking at where they start changing the game. Is this going to be a two-hand touch league? You're sitting there laying the quarterback down all soft? Well, Tom Brady is a reason for that, you know? You're sitting up here yelling at the officials, writing back to the National Football League. So where did they start changing the game of football? At the quarterback position. So that's why I'm bothered by it. And another thing that I'm bothered by, why did he have to wait till he retired? Say that type of stuff. You could have said that stuff back when you was playing in the game, would have went further with me.
Tom Brady actually has spoken out about this subject while playing. Last year at the beginning of the season, Brady had this to say about the league.
I think there's a lot of bad football from what I watch, I watch a lot of bad football, a lot of, poor quality of football. That's what I see.
When Alex Smith was asked about the Tom Brady comment, he took it even further to take a shot at Tom Brady's legacy.
You've been in his position, retiring and then watching the game from a distance. Do you agree with Tom Brady?
First off, he hasn't been retired that long. He was just playing. Like, he just won a Super Bowl in the current game. Like, is he discounting that one? My biggest complaint with this, and no offense to you guys, well, all three of you guys, he played in the most uncompetitive division, I think, in NFL history. I mean, you come out of training camp, the biggest cupcake division, you got a ticket to the playoffs right away. Like, talk about mediocre. In my opinion, I think the game's gotten better. There's more parity across the league. Quarterback play is at an all-time high, I think, across the league. Like, you've got the best athletes playing the position. We didn't have this 30, 40 years ago.
While most would agree with Smith's comments about this being a great era for quarterbacks, because at the end of the day, it's a quarterback-driven league, and additionally, these guys are making unbelievable passes and just looking incredible out there. But naturally, Smith is missing the point when he said Tom Brady is discrediting his own most recent Super Bowl win. Tom played in the early 2000s, and to be playing for that long and have success at that level, you would obviously need to completely change your game and grow with your position and just adapt to the way the league's looking. Because it's obvious. Partially because of the rules, he was able to throw for a massive amount of yards and win the Super Bowl in his 21st season. But if anyone were able to speak about the difference in play, it would be Tom Brady. And Smith's comments about the AFC East were also incorrect. This is the definition of one of those takes that a quote-unquote casual fan will talk about just because you expect the teams to be bad in the division. But this statement has been disproven plenty of times before. In the most recent case, Twitter user NFL Dov Kleiman posted a chart showing each division's win-loss record versus non-divisional opponents from 2000 to 2018. And if you look at the chart, the AFC East is clearly ahead of everyone. And most people's response to this chart, trying to discount it, would be that the Patriots are so good, they're skewing the numbers, which is also correct. During this time, the Patriots' win percentage versus non-division opponents was over 70%. But if you remove the division winner from each year, the AFC East is still at the head of the pack. For a lot of people, this is hard to understand how this is even possible, as a division definitely seemed weak. But it's just simply that the Patriots were just that good. In all likelihood, if the Patriots were dropped in any division during that time, they would have done the same exact thing, and the numbers would back it up. From 2001 to 2018, the Patriots were 24-14 against eventual division winners, 60-33 against teams that would eventually make the playoffs, and 75-45 against teams who finished with the winning record. These records and numbers are by far better than the next team during this time. Also, the Patriots have been to 13 AFC Championship games during Tom Brady's time in New England, winning 9 of them. So it's not like they just were making the playoffs because they had a bad division and losing early. They were going all the way to the end. And more times than not, they're winning the Super Bowl. End of the day, let's make this very clear. It is very hard to win in the NFL. And sometimes it's not pretty. But imagine being the all-time GOAT and just winning a ton of games, but everyone goes, well, there's a reason actually why, or put an asterisk next to it. Remember, they don't take championships down off the wall. That's it, y'all. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, obviously subscribe, and most importantly, share this video with a family or friend member. If you like this video, chances are they will as well. And until the next one, talk to you guys soon.